Okay. Let's turn this guy on. I need to get a grip. Somebody that can do all this stuff for me. Just kidding. I can't do this stuff for myself. I really don't need to be doing it. You know?
It is pretty.
Ooh, I kind of want to light this guy. It's spice.
Spice?
Tuscany holiday spice.
It has a kind of strong kick in it.
A lady I know got 5 candles. Evidently, people look at her and just go, you know what? She needs a candle. Let's get her a candle. And to think that 5 people had that same thought. It's kind of funny to me. I used to think when I was little, I used to get frustrated because people would never buy. I wouldn't get presents that I wanted. I got presents that other people thought I should have. They thought I should like this. Like if I was the person that they wanted me to be, this gift, I would be like, whoopee. And then I'd be so disappointed. Like I remember one time I asked for a sleeping bag.
Oh, really?
And then they would like do things like this. I'd get the sleeping bag, but it would have girly shit on it.
Oh.
It would have strawberry shortcake or something sissy on it like that. And then I didn't want it. I don't want that sissy stuff. I was a total tomboy. I didn't want to have nothing to do with that stuff. Anyway, I'll just light it with my torch. I broke a bong yesterday. It's just been. My bong got retrograded.
Did it break?
Yeah, it broke. And it was just such a. It wasn't even anything. It was a total fluke. It like got bumped and then it just hit just right. And then the stem broke. So I was just like, psh. But anyway. Hello, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hilk empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. I think people need to learn how to talk about how they feel about things more. So I'll go first. I cleaned a bunch of stuff out. The landlord's bringing in a trailer for her son, who is kind of a hoarder. For him to get rid of a bunch of stuff that he never should have got to begin with. But what are you gonna do, right? I know what it's like. I can sympathize. I that's what I'm going through now, is stuff that I've been taking around with us since Omaha, 2016, from state to state to state, just trying to find a place to be. So now we're at a place and we can just be here. No pressure, no stress. And everything's above board and everything. And so I've been going through stuff. And I found this. I must have been like a freaking 2 years old. This is probably around the time I put a fishing hook through my tongue. Yeah, Mom about passed out. So that's little me. And then my brother, I think he was a hobo. I think he was a hobo in a past life, because he even had a dog that he named Hobo, like as an adult. So, interesting. So it's kind of a. We were supposed to get 6 to 8 inches of snow up here in northern New Mexico, and it snowed real good for about 10 minutes. And no, it's 10 minutes. It's brief, Ma. It's just, it came down real good, and it wasn't even snow. It was that styrofoam stuff that they make. It's not even real snow, man. It's like everything's so artificial. I think about that a lot. Everything is so stinking artificial that I wonder what the world would be like if all the control freaks weren't controlling. Like if people actually were, if like sports weren't rigged, and if life was more organic, I wonder what things would be more like. Anyway, did I say it? Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. Hey, Oak Empath. I just like having little talks. I did say it about how I feel about things. I'm pretty tired. It's I've been up since probably about 4:30 or 5 this morning.
That's a long time.
Yeah. And I was kind of busy all day. More so than usual, so I'm not really firing it on all cylinders if I said it the second time. Anyway, so what else is going on in the world? Lots of crazy things. The whole world's going crazy. What did I do today? I meditated for a little while. That's what I did. That's my contribution. I had an off day, so I didn't lift any weights or anything like that today. I had an off day. I just where I didn't do anything. So like that, I'm getting ready to clean stuff out, to get rid of stuff that we shouldn't have had, that we wouldn't have kept. But then there's, at the same time, there's like all this stuff that Mom's been carrying around forever. But then there's stuff like this. Like I always wanted one of these. I always thought it would be cool to have a buffalo nickel. And mom has 2 in her stuff. And this one, this one, there you go. That's the one side. And then on the other side, it's like this one's 1937. See the 1937? So it's a 1937. That's one of them. And then they did it later, like commemoratively. They did it later in 2005. But the one in 1937 is really cool. And then she has a nickel like my birth year. Here's one 1949. Gotta hit it just right, man. I'm at that. I put it off as long as I can, but it's too late. It's catching up to me now, man. I'm at that age where like everything like you got your sight changes. You gotta hold stuff out, like like things are getting more and more blurry. Oh man, evolving, you're having your soul sack evolve is kind of a weird thing. It's kind of a trippy thing. It's just, if you get a chance to do it, I hope, I don't know. I guess I'm pretty fortunate because I was taught to take care of my soul sack, take care of my body. And there's plenty of years in there I didn't. I did what I wanted. I just ate what I wanted, drank what I just consumed whatever I wanted to do. The thing about that is I just felt awful. I just felt terrible about that. Or about myself when I did that. Emotionally I felt awful. Because I always thought I could do better for myself, Just work a little harder, go for a walk, watch what I eat. And what I come to find out is like weight is just, it has more to do with stress and anxiety than it has, from what I understand, from what I've learned, than actually, my diet. Because there's been plenty of years that I'd eat next to nothing, but I was almost 200 pounds. But I was stressed out and I wasn't living how I wanted to live. I was living how I thought I wanted to live, how people told me that I should live, You get married, you go to school, or you go to school, you get married, you have, the family, all that. And I tried to create that little bubble for myself, and that just was never the way my life was supposed to go. My life shifted. My life is much different than how I ever, or I never really thought about how it would go either. But anyway, how you doing today, Mom?
Doing good.
Yeah? You woke up pretty early today. She came shuffling out before the sun. Yeah? It's kind of nice though. It's cozy when she comes out, and it stays dark for a little while, and I'll drink a cup of coffee or whatever. And what is it we watched today? We watched a movie. We watched The Mummy today. And yesterday I asked Mom to pick a movie last night. I said, Mom, you want to pick a movie? You pick it. I said, you pick something. And so we were on Hulu and I was scrolling around and she laughed at Bob's Burgers, the movie. She laughed at the little picture of that. I said, and she read something like, and she said, Bob's Burgers, the movie. I said, is that what you want to watch? She's like, yeah. So I said, the good, because I've been wanting to watch that movie for quite some time now. So we watched that, and she just sat in her chair and was like giggling at it and stuff like that. It was pretty sweet. It was pretty cool. Um, so we'll probably, when I'm done here and I let the dogs out and do a walk around, I'll probably let her pick something else. Last night I picked, or the night before I picked, it was the Kingsman. Or no, that's what we watched after. We watched both of them.
Oh,
Yep. So hope people are faring pretty well as civilizations continue to fall. And shifts, powers that be change. And it evolves because it's a turnover week. Isn't it tomorrow they're doing some kind of elections or something like that? More BS, pageantry, rituals, nonsense. Where nothing ever, really ever gets resolved. But the people and they're wearing their shiny shoes and their expensive suits, they sure get to have a good time doing whatever it is that they do. A lot of people traveled still this season. I see a lot of people still travel. I know California's getting pummeled by weather right now. They're getting like they're supposed to be getting rain and snow for 2 weeks, and what people don't understand is where the fire scars are. It causes a great deal of risk for mudslides and stuff like that, because the ground's already pretty well saturated, and if it's gonna keep doing this nonstop, it's gonna create problems. It makes the ground nice and soggy, and trees just kind of fall over because the roots have nothing. They got nothing to grab onto because the ground's just mud, turns to mud. It's a trip, man. The different parts of the country that has different problems to contend with. There's no like perfect place to be. I've been listening to Ben Davidson's been doing lives for his space observers, and I've been listening, and everybody wants to know, like, what about where I live here? What about, no, dude, you're fucked. Pretty much, unless you're like, there are these like two little striped areas, you're pretty much the United States is hosed, and it's gonna get a big old freaking makeover, and maybe it won't happen in our lifetime. Maybe it will. The story continues. We'll find out as it unfolds. God, man, for something like that to happen, man, millions, and that's a lot of people. I don't think that there's 7 billion people on the planet like they say. I have no faith in their numbers. And anybody that pays themselves $212 to, a year, $212,000 a year to freaking that can't change a tire, these people, they're not even real people. It's so bizarre. I can't even I wake. It's just sometimes how did it get this way? What was I watching? And it was the poor public servant. Could you buy it was an episode of Northern Exposure. That's what it was. And it was someone that Chris went to school with, that he was really enamored with her. He thought she was like the prettiest girl he ever saw. And then when she showed up, he was like, okay, where is she? Because who are you? Because we build things up in our minds, man. We build things. I think about that a lot. Like every relationship I was ever in, at some point, I just thought that she was just the best thing in the whole world, and that's just who all I ever wanted to be with from here on out. That's what I thought about every girl I dated. And now I'm just like grateful for dodging those bullets, you know. Which always begs the question too, though, if I ever met anybody ever again and I thought that they're the bee's knees and they're the one, I would how could I believe and trust in myself for that to be true, because I've believed that to be true before and I was wrong. Well, one way to find out about the differences is, instead, when I was younger and I like somebody, I just, you just go a million miles an hour. I'm an Aries too. So you just jump into, just jump into everything you possibly can, right? No. What I do as an adult is I hang out with the person to see if I like the person even. Spend some time. Too many people just like jump in the side. Well, this is how it has been, but I don't think that kids are freaking is horny. Honestly, the younger generations are doing it as much. Really, I think that they have different priorities and stuff like that. The world is a much different place than it once was. But so it was a pretty quiet day. I almost went into town. Whoopee! Actually might go in tomorrow. So get a couple things. I have a list going here of a couple things that I could get. So, because I want to get some of those black construction bag trash bags, so I could fill those up, and then get a couple of what do you call it? I don't know. Cargo straps. Those are the words that I couldn't think of earlier. Some cargo straps to tie this stuff down, because I don't know, people around here, they just freaking they do not practice ORM, operational risk management. Mostly they just throw stuff on a trailer and hopefully it'll stay on. Hope for the best. It's kind of funny. But my headphones are breaking. It's kind of sad. I've had these for like 3 years. And they're starting to break. The outside, the rubber on them. They're Bose. I see, in these I spent like $80 something on. They're like $89 or something like that. I don't know if I got the refurbished, because usually I buy refurbished stuff. Anyway, it's always risky business for me to order things where I live, because people would be surprised that don't live in big cities. People that live in big cities, people that have accessibility, they'd be really surprised to find out how many companies will not ship to a PO box. And where I live, they don't. There's not you. That's all you get is a PO box, But I guess if they ship it courier, they just drop it at the door and it's not really a problem. But so anyway, I went ahead and I ordered myself a new set today, a replacement set. I think it's like the newer version of these. I wonder how many versions they've had since that, and if this is like a character defect or a model defect, and I hope they fix it. But whatever. Anyway, so backgrounds continue, because I'm gonna have different heads, and I've been wondering if like the sound of these the quality of sound is being altered, because some songs come up and I'm like, is my hearing going weird? But nothing else sounds peculiar, so I'm just going to have to chalk it up to it's them, not me. Anyway. It's just been a real quiet day. I took the garbage out. That's about all I did. I washed the dishes. I made dinner. That's about all I did. Huh? It's a pretty lackadaisical day, huh, Ma?
Yeah,
You think so? Are you content?
I am.
Are you happy?
I am happy.
Yeah. I did not change the sheets. Again, I guess I could do that next. So, anyway, I think that's it. I didn't really want to do a talk because there wasn't really anything going on to speak of today. Just more goofy stuff. More goofy stuff going on. I mean, nothing I see, like, I always get these notifications for smart news for some reason. And it's just like, nah, these headlines come up and I'm just like, nah. And then, like, I'll go to MSN. And then, of course, these little excerpts about Homeboy from freaking the Idaho killings, keeps coming up. All these people had no clue, so that begs to be asked. The question begs to be asked: how many more psychopath nut jobs are freaking roaming all over the planet and just people have no idea? Well, guess what? People like me, we got ideas. It's like when crappy things happen to you in life, it balances out with having, you get like little gifts. And a couple of gifts that I got are my gift of knowing what people actually are. You'd be surprised. People would be really, really surprised to see and hear how like the pillars of society, how the person that everybody likes, how they treat me. Yeah, on like the down low, on the skid, behind the scenes. Yeah, it's been ridiculous. I mean, the ways that people, I mean, it amazes me the way people think they can talk to me. It's bizarro. So, anyway, we don't go out though much, huh, Ma? But see, that's the thing, is like, and that's why I think that people that read people, they don't like being around me because they know I know exactly what they are. And I don't care, I know some freaking shady shysters in this world. I've known some questionable characters for years. How people conduct their life, it's their karma. As long as I'm not putting myself or anybody else in harm's way, or they're not, But there's a lot of freaking nutty nuttertons in Nutterville, USA, all over the place out there, man. Because you got all these people, mommy and daddy, boys and girls, never told them no. You can always do whatever you want, and they just go around doing whatever they want. And well, there's consequences to that. People don't have discipline. And that man, that person, that thing, that guy, that entity, that whatever he is. He did not freaking display any sort of discipline. He displayed a great deal of pent-up rage. Yeah, that's what inferior people do. They hide in the darkness and they get people when they're impaired. It makes them feel big and strong and powerful. Still, the kids they had the upper hand, got on them because they were drunk. It's all these, for every action there's an opposite reaction. Anyway, that's all I got now. Hope you have